Welcome to the Wondrous History Podcast and to a new, rather special episode, something a bit different today, about something that has been making headlines in the media for the last, I would say, few weeks. Chat GPT and what it can tell us about many things in news, science, but also humanities and history. So I finally got in on the ChatGPT train and asked a few questions, which were quite important to me early on as a student and then later on as a historian. Before we continue, I'd like to remind you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already to follow all the videos from the channel on Venetian, Mediterranean history, and many other subjects that I've covered along the years in this channel. It really does help a lot. We're almost at 900 and we're close to the big 1K. So thank you for listening and let us resume. So the first question I've asked ChatGPT was, why is Venetian history important? And the answer was a bit general, but it does have some interesting points. It said, quote, Venetian history is incredibly important for a number of reasons. Venice, the city-state that flourished during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, was a major economic and cultural hub in Europe, connecting east and west through its trade networks and fostering the development of art, architecture, and literature. Venice was also a major naval power, with a formidable fleet that allowed it to dominate the Mediterranean and project its influence across the world. The Venetian Republic was one of the longest lasting in history, lasting over 1,100 years, until it was finally conquered by Napoleon in 1797. The Venetian Republic also played a significant role in the development of modern political and legal institutions. Its republican government, which was structured around a complex system of checks and balances, served as a model for other European states, and its legal system, which was based on the principle of equality before the law, helped to lay the foundation for modern Western legal traditions. Moreover, the city of Venice itself is a masterpiece of urban planning and architecture, with its intricate network of canals, stunning palaces and churches, and iconic landmarks like the Rialto Bridge and St. Mark's Basilica. The city's rich artistic and cultural heritage continues to inspire and influence people around the world to this day. Overall, Venetian history is of immense importance for understanding the development of European civilization, and the legacy of Venice continues to be felt in the realms of art, architecture, politics, and culture. End of quote. I would say for a free version AI generated response of ChatGPT, this is a fairly accurate and good response. So I wanted to go a bit more precise, a bit deeper, and ask which were or which was the most important Venetian doge in history. And to that question, I got the following answer, quote, Venice had 120 doges, dukes, in its history, and each one contributed in some way to the growth and prosperity of the city. However, there are a few doges who are considered to be the most important in Venetian history due to their significant contribution to the city's cultural, economic, and political development. One of the most important doges in Venetian history is Enrico Dandolo, who served as doge from 1192 until his death in 1205. During his tenure as doge, Venice experienced a period of great expansion and prosperity, with Dandolo overseeing the construction of many important buildings and monuments, including the famous St. Mark's Basilica. He also played a key role in the Fourth Crusade, which saw the Venetian forces capture Constantinople and establish a Venetian-dominated Byzantine Empire. Another important doge was Francesco Foscari, who served as doge from 1423 to 1457. During his reign, Venice continued to expand its trading networks and became one of the most powerful city-states in Italy. Foscari was also known for his patronage of arts and for commissioning some of the most beautiful and iconic works of Venetian art and architecture, including the Palazzo Ducale and the Biblioteca Marciana. Finally, Leonardo Loredan, who served as doge from 1501 to 1521, was instrumental in consolidating Venetian power in the Mediterranean and expanding the city's influence beyond Italy. He also oversaw the construction of several important public works, including the Rialto Bridge and the Church of Santa Maria dei Miracoli. Overall, it is difficult to single out one doge as the most important in Venetian history, as each one made significant contributions to the city's growth and prosperity. However, Enrico Dandolo, Francesco Foscari, and Leonardo Loredan are often considered to be among the most significant and influential doges in Venetian history. End of quote. Again, very pragmatic answers, I would say, over here, based on, I would say that the algorithm is trying to decide, okay, in Venice, we have these important landmarks that people love to visit. And we've got the Rialto Bridge. Who built it? That Doge. He's one of the most important as a result of that, which makes sense, but also it's a bit generalistic and simplistic because it doesn't go deep on some of the socioeconomic, but also military aspects as well. For me personally, I think Andrea Gritti is one of the most important doges, not just in 16th century Venetian history, but overall. But of course, Dandolo Foscari and Leonardo Loredan, to be fair, are rather important. So thank you for listening to this episode. It was an interesting preliminary deep dive in Chat GPT. I will go and ask a few more questions, and I'll do more episodes based on questions that I've asked before in the podcast, especially, for example, the Ottoman Empire in the 16th century, Suleiman, Selim, Murad III, but also Venetian Cyprus, and I will want to ask a few questions about the early 17th century and the 30 Years' War. Don't worry, I still have something planned on that. I've already got a few episodes written. I just need the time to record, and we shall see what I can do with the series on 16th century popes as well, because that will be quite linked with the previous one that I've done on the Venetian doges. So thank you for listening to this episode. Stay tuned. There will be quite a bit of Chat GPT historical analysis and my views on it. Thanks again for listening, and until the next time, all the best.